So my goal is to help over 600 people with affordable housing
Okay.
through federally funded programs like Section 8. That would equate to about 200 doors. And not only do Section 8 as typically you see in kind of like those really stressed out areas, but find those creative opportunities in like A and B neighborhoods. So not only are you helping them get affordable housing, but now you're putting them in a new community that actually will help their next generation grow up in a better environment and hopefully change their trajectory.
Later on, once I get more funding available, then maybe I'll partner up with some deals with you.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Even though it's a partner split, we're still helping out people. So it's
Yeah,
the same
absolutely.
goal we have. Might as well do it
Exactly.
together. Yep.
Yep. Squat up.
Yep. Yep. I love it, man. Building relationships with direct agent. That's one way
Yeah.
I do it as well. I picked up a
Yeah.
couple of wholesales that way. I actually got my sub two sober living that way from an agent.
Oh, nice.
And the Morby method came to me from an agent as well.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice. The borrower had a great track record with a lot of people in the community, a lot of payouts, and a few times was late with prepay his late fees. I don't know if he got greedy or lost control, but he had defaulted on 32 properties, which
wow.
included 43 lenders. And so
Hey, welcome to Dream Start Own podcast, your path to own your time. I'm your host, Edgar the Connector, and we have special guest,
Kevin Day.
Kevin Day, man. Thank you for joining. It was fun meeting you at Boston for the Owners Club retreat.
Yeah, that was an amazing time. Yeah, really appreciate meeting you too, and appreciate having me on your podcast.
Cool, man. So this is your first podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
And
the first one. I know Pace keeps telling us to, get our social medias out there and jump on podcasts and get our word out. So I appreciate you having me on this. Yeah, get me out of my shell and start doing these.
yeah, man, it's just having a conversation really. I know we put a lot of, oh, what about this? What about that? And most
Yeah,
people look at it, don't care. And if they do, we're not going to hear about it. They'll have their thoughts and we're going to
mhm.
move with our days, you know? If somebody
Yeah,
sends over a
yeah. I'm
guest.
I'm an engineer, so I'm definitely an overthinker and put too much thought into it. Just what if I do this? What if I did that? But no, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing is just doing it. That's one reason I named the podcast the Dream Start word,
Nice,
start,
nice.
because a lot of people would dream and dream and dream and they don't ever start. And that's the biggest thing is starting. And then being an owners club, you get the owners club shirt on right now. So we know that Pace has also talked about it. Many people that start their own business, they don't ever become owners of it. Even though on paper they own it, they still are basically employees. And all of us are trying to get out of the employee mentality and be the own mentality where we start delegating more work and be able
Absolutely,
to use our skills the best that we can.
absolutely.
So, Mr. Day, tell me about yourself. What made you start getting into real estate?
So it's a funny story, actually. I'm, like, as I mentioned, I'm a mechanical engineer. I work doing engineering consulting. Primarily, I lead one of the divisions of our company where we're basically like QA for like federal projects. Someone's building, like NC State's building a new classroom building. They'll hire us to do third party oversight, do design review, observe installation, and then once it's installed, verify it's all working right. So, but in that realm, I've always my entire career working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks kind of things. And my son, who actually came home from college one day, it was a Sunday night, 10 o'clock at night. I'm up in my office cranking away at work. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "What? Hey, this is just life, man. You just got to get used to it." He's like, "Oh." So he told me he's reading this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's like, wow, all right. So I read the book on Audible, and yeah, the switch went off in my mind. Yeah, I worked my way up the corporate ladder, but I still didn't have control of my own time. So then he and I joined together. We started our LLC together, and so we joined Gator. Actually, I started out, just not knowing anything about creative finance or anything, but started diving into YouTube, trying to learn about how to get into real estate and how to do it with my son who's in college who has no money. And how do we start out with nothing? And eventually stumbled on to, some young army guy who had no money. So we started out doing creative investing. I was like, what is creative finance? Started researching that. And then of course Pace pops up. And then started researching him and finding all all the things he does, and then stumbled into Gator. We really want to start up too, but again, with my son, me and him wanted to be 50-50 partners. I really didn't want to just fund the entire thing. I want us to really truly have our equal buy-in. And so that's when we found Gator, which is obviously much lower entry point. So that's where we started in Gator back in May of 23. And for that first year, we did connecting, finding borrowers, real estate, finding private money lenders to fund their deals. And then after Squad Up, joined Owners Club this past May, and then joined Sub 2 shortly after. So
Sweet. You're kind of the same order I did things. I did Gator, Owners Club, and then Sub 2.
Yeah. Yeah, they say, hey, we'll knock off $5,000 if you join Sub 2. It's like, well, we wanted Sub 2 anyway, so like, let's just
Right.
let's burn all the ships.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's awesome that you did a father-son combo. I guess I don't
it's
think I've
pretty
met your
awesome.
son. Has he made it to the retreats?
Oh yeah, he's been in all of them. Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yeah. He actually even in Gator now. He's got one of the Zooms, weekly Zooms. He and two other people are hosting, like the Pathway to Success or something like that. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
I have them on my calendar, but I don't always hit them all. I don't think I've hit all of them at least once. There's so
yeah.
many, but it's not
Yeah,
bad. You're able to choose them. You
right.
just got to be able to look at the schedule and decide which ones you want to go to. Because if you just copy the whole schedule onto your calendar, it becomes a lot, and you're like, oh, you get overwhelmed. Oh, dang, should I jump in? So what I started
Yeah.
doing is just copy one at a time to be more proactive about it, about the
Mhm.
ones I want to go to.
Nice, nice.
Great. So
Yeah.
Gator, year and a half. How'd you do your first Gator?
So we've only done connecting in Gator, so we haven't done EMDs or any of those yet. Really, so basically we've done probably a little over a dozen connector deals. First few is actually most of them were with other Gators, where one person brings the borrower, and we built a network of lenders. So we put those two together, and we would split the connector fee and go from there.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
How long did it take you to get over asking for a connector fee?
And see, we joined in. Actually, it didn't take me long because I went through all the trainings first, and then so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll ask for a fee. So yeah, I wasn't bashful about that. But yeah, it took us about 3 months to get our first one done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still a little bashful sometimes when I'm bringing somebody, like I'm about to connect somebody for an ADU in
right.
California to somebody else. I'm like, I know Pace always says, do you mind if I can make money? If I make some money on it?
Yeah.
I still haven't got that flow to there for that yet. What do you use to say when you're asking for a fee for connection?
Well, the good thing is most borrowers are, if they go private money, a lot of private money lenders charge points up front, or even hard money. They charge points typically. So I basically the private money lenders I bring don't charge points, and so I say, yeah, it's just 2 points or 3 points, and then they'll get, and then we'll just add that into the borrowed amount. So you're borrowing my fee. You're just paying interest on that little extra. It won't really affect your overall payout. So basically, I build my fee into the borrow. If they want, 100,000, we'll say, all right, let's borrow 103, and then you pay that extra interest on that 3%. Over the long run, it's easy to absorb in the project, and then I
Nice.
get paid that at closing typically. Sometimes I've negotiated to get it paid. Like actually, the one I got paid out yesterday was actually paid after the second close. So.
Okay. That's nice. So you're
Mhm.
adding it to the PMLs, basically
Mhm.
their fee there. You don't ever ask to connect not the connector, the borrower for a portion as well to kind of get like split the cost between the two.
What do you mean?
Well, I guess you're doing more like Gator. So you're telling the PML to add the fee there, and then you're getting the buyer, not the buyer, but the borrower. They're going to end up paying it. But does the borrower know that that money is coming for the extra fee added is for you directly, or is it just like it's a
Well, I
PML?
guess I guess the PML is not worried. They don't get any fees associated with them. So the borrower knows upfront before I go out to a PML.
Right.
I'll, like again, if the borrower says I need $100,000, say great. I've got someone who will do 12% interest, 100% finance, 6 to 8 months, deferred payments. I'll charge my fees 3% of the borrowed amount. If you're good with that, we'll just take that 100,000, put my fee on top. So I'll go out to the lender, or yeah, and say, hey, look, this guy needs 103,000, and so basically I just present, here's the number that they want to borrow. Here's your interest rate on that, and they're like, okay. So they're not paying the fee or anything like that. So they still get their full principal plus the interest on top, and then the borrower is able to build in there. They're able to basically borrow my fee
Okay.
and pay that at closing. Yeah.
I got it. So you add your fee when you ask the PML to it already. So the
Yeah.
PML just knows they're lending the full amount
Right.
and they don't really
Right.
know how the breakdown is. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good way to do it. I have to
Hmm.
finish going through the Gator training. Awesome. You
Yeah.
said you do a lot of Gator wrestling as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the one project I lent on myself with my self-directed IRA was with another Gator sub two and owners club person. So all one other person. Yeah. So
Nice, man.
mhm.
Collaboration, right? That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Self-directed IRA. That's awesome. I just signed up with them as well. How's that working out for you?
Good. That was my first deal. Unfortunately, the borrower, who even though had a great track record with a lot of people in the community, a lot of payouts, and a few times was late, would prepay his late fees and then eventually pay him out. And then I don't know if he got greedy or lost control, but he had defaulted on 32 properties, which
Wow.
included 43 lenders. And so we had and all over the country, mostly gators. So if he really was greedy and just trying to, take the money and run and not realizing we'd all joined forces since we all knew each other, we actually got a private investigator and they go and get some for mortgage fraud. So we're able to finally get a hold of him and we recently bought the property back from him. Our first sub two deal, unfortunately, it was to the hard money lender who he hadn't paid his rates or he hadn't, even though it was a fix and flip and he did the renovation, got it on the market. It appraised for what he said it would, but it never sold. So then he got it rented at a really good rate. He would be cash flowing even with the hard money in place, but never paid, took all that rent, never paid the hard money lender. Yeah. So once we finally, after it was, we were supposed to get paid out in March and we just bought it sub two in October. So we had all those arrears to catch up and then take it over. And so now we're in the crunch time of the end of the hard money is about to expire. And so now we're trying to do a quick refi or get an extension for that one. And get it rented. And so yeah, that was an ongoing learning lesson project.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, March
Yeah.
to October. You can
Yeah. Yeah.
7 months there. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So even when that's the crazy thing. Even when you got the proven track record, so sometimes people go crazy. I don't know. So
Did
that's
you
why we
talk?
kind of shifted towards more doing our own deals. I mean, my son started focusing on trying to acquire deals, and got a property in St. Louis, like I was mentioning earlier before the call, where we bought it on market, did a renovation, cosmetic rehab, and so now we're trying to get it rented Section 8. So that's getting close. We're actually doing the refi. Looks like we'll get all our money back too. So once we get it rented, we get infinite returns on our first deal. So not too bad.
Awesome. Congrats on that.
Yeah, thanks.
So that property that you picked up from the hard money lender, that's in St. Louis as well, or?
No, the bad borrower guy, that's actually in Odessa, Texas.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so now we're getting spread out in multiple states. Yeah.
I visit Odessa every once in a while for a project that I'm consulting on over there for,
Oh yeah.
yeah, planning consultant for industrial construction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they have a project out there where they're building a new plant not too far from us. It's actually about 40 minutes away from Odessa, but Odessa is where everybody stays at. There's no hotels close to the actual plant that they're building.
Okay. So there's a big plant going out there. So maybe that could be a corporate rental then.
Yeah. I mean, Oxy sends people out there on a weekly basis and they'll stay at the Hilton paying about $150 a night.
Yeah. What companies?
That's Oxy, AOXOXY.
Okay.
Oxy's out there. Then right now the contractors out there are Worley, the construction company. And then they have another project that's going to be an expansion to what they're building out. So it depends though, because it's a direct air capture. So with the new administration, if they shut down all like green stuff, they may not get funding for that anymore. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but every Monday through Thursday, they always have the airplanes are full going there, and that people just don't live in Odessa, but they'll visit for 4 days out of the week. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
potential to get some good rentals, some rent by the room maybe,
Yeah.
or try to get some attached to a corporate like midterm rental. Get yourself a nice
Yeah.
deal over there. Well, how big
That'd
is the
be great.
house?
It's a little over 2,000 square feet, 4 bedroom, two and a half
Okay,
bath. Yeah.
yeah.
So that'd be great for that.
I don't know much about the cleaning crews out there. I'm pretty sure you can find some.
Yeah.
But I told somebody else about a property in Baytown they were trying to do sober living. I told them to change it to rent by the room, and they're renting 8 bedrooms. They've got it rented out. Took them 2 months to get all 8 bedrooms filled on Airbnb, rent by the room,
Oh, wow.
and they're $30 a night is what they're doing per room times 8. So they're doing pretty good.
Nice.
It's probably a real good option for you as well. Just get yourself
Yeah.
some cleaners to maintain it.
You don't want to buy it, do you?
No, not right now. I'm doing one right now with another owners club. We're doing a Morby method,
Oh.
kind of like the situation with the hard money lender. Not a
Mhm.
bad borrower, but it was a flip that a flipper did, and they did a great job on the flip. They've had buyers look at it, but they all backed out because it's on a really busy road. So they owe, I think, 560 to the hard money lender, and so we're gonna Morby method it. They want, they're asking 860 for it. We're gonna give them 600 at closing with Morby method, and we'll get out a DSCR loan. Then we should be able to walk away with about 20K in cash, and we use a transactional lender to put for the 25%.
Nice.
All the money we're going to get back from the seller, the 25% of the purchase price, we're going to do a seller finance portion on that 10 years, 0% interest free,
Very
and then
nice.
convert it to 8 bedrooms that should go for about $300 a week per bedroom. So we should end up doing really well.
Very nice. And where's that located?
It's in the middle of Houston.
Mm.
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
Nice. Nice. Is that where you're located?
Yes, sir. My
Nice.
wife did that painting back there. Let's get used to this going back and forth. Here we go. The skyline of Houston.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Are you looking for more Gator wrestlers?
Yeah. So actually at the retreat in Boston, I think we talked about doing some gator wrestling. I think myself directed, I might be putting with another owner. But yeah, I saw your list. I'm trying to follow how that spreadsheet was laid out, and you had different people in the. I couldn't tell what's available and what's not, and all that.
Anything that shows there is available.
Oh,
So
okay.
when it's not available, I'll go and drop it. It's like if you open it right now, we
Yeah.
just did a 30K EMD. So
Mhm.
that one that showed 33 is now down to 3. So it's live. So anytime you open it up, as long as you're using the link, it'll give you live up to date.
Okay,
Uh,
so anything on that sheet is available.
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And then the credit cards, I took off 5% just because you use plastique to pay for it. So you got to pay the fee. So I removed that from there. So it's not an even number. That's why it's an odd number on the credit cards.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So you can see I manage my mother-in-law's finances and my mom's finances. So I'm
Mhm.
helping them as well with the investing. So I'll put where that money's coming from just because there's another owners club member that wants to help immigrant women. So I was like, well, here you go. There's 2 immigrant women here. You can help out. I mean, you're dealing with me, but it's their money really, and the profits go to them.
Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, maybe I know you sent that. Maybe you can resend that link.
So it might be through your email. Let me see. Yeah, so I might have emailed it to you. Let me check my email.
Oh, yeah, found it. So right now you have 10 EMD deals available.
What was that
So
again?
yeah, I guess that was yeah, you got mother-in-law, business card, Edgar, mom. So what exactly?
Oh no, just that's where the money's coming from. So let's say, tell me what the first line is there.
Yeah, it says available funds. So the first row is mother-in-law, amount 3,000, type cash, term based on ROI.
Yeah, so basically 3,000 is available now. It was 33,000. We just did a 30,000 EMD, and then that one is basically cash in the bank, so that can be a quick. That one can be a longer term because there's no extra like interest fees on that.
Mhm.
So all the other ones that say like type card, those would be paid through a credit card. So the reason they're short term is because you're paying interest on them. Well, not you, but my mother-in-law, my mother, whoever's using it, will be paying interest. So I don't want to do like a 6 month term on those. It'd be more of a
Oh,
shorter
I see,
term.
I see. So these are available funds to be used on other deals.
Correct.
Now I understand. Okay. I
Correct.
was thinking it was these are that's why I was confused on it. I thought you were saying you have deals that need EMD funding.
Yeah, no, that's funds that we have available to
Gotcha,
send
gotcha,
out
gotcha.
for Gator funds,
Okay,
Gator wrestling.
gotcha. Now I understand.
Cool.
That's why I
Yeah.
was a little confused. Yeah,
I'll need to add a note on there to make it
yeah,
a little clearer. No, it's good because I haven't got any feedback on it.
yeah,
So that's feedback is helpful always, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was kind of loud in that conference room, so maybe I just misunderstood the description. So cool. So what do you been doing in Gator?
I haven't finished training, and I've did a little bit of pitching, but right now I'm like that cater deal that I showed you that we spent 30K. Somebody else brought it to me, another owners club member, and so usually I'm one of the gators being wrestled. So that's usually what I've been doing. Actually,
Nice.
we just did one. I did my first deal recently. We got that paid out the first of this month, and then they're actually paying a late fee because they were behind a little bit. Supposed to pay out the late fee today. I haven't seen it from them, but yeah, it was almost small, 7,000, but we got 20% back, and then $70 a day late fee. So that's really cool. So I don't know if you know Brenda Villafranco.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
she's
awesome.
yeah, she's been doing a lot and just been bringing me, asking me if I want to help fund them. So I say, yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah, I have some other funds there available for you if you want to not use your money, use other people's money and get collaboration going and help out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to split the fee because I'm doing very little of it besides, sending the funds out.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, she
So
does.
yeah, what kind of yeah, you're saying you get about 20% or roughly on most of these?
Yeah, I mean, we're good with like 10% back. So if like I think told somebody else if they have anything at let's say 15% return, we'll do like a 50% split. If they get anything above 20% return, then just give us 10% and they can keep. If they get 30% return, they get 20, we get 10. You know, I'm open to it because I have the funds available, but with my W-2 and everything else, it's hard for me to sit there and vet this and look at that and still learn the process to make sure I'm protected and the money that I'm using is protected.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So somebody's experienced like yourself or Brenda, you're good with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Cool. So St. Louis, I guess let's go back to Odessa right now. What are you doing with
Yeah.
that property?
So yeah, so again, we were about to start the refi, and then we got our property manager on board, except that they went over there and the renter, even though it got renovated, was gorgeous in April. It's now needs new carpet already, needs a lot of paint touch-ups and a bunch of cosmetics. And so we're gonna have to hopefully get the hard money lender to give us an extension to give us time to do that and then get the refi done in time. So, and then we're going to get it rented. But right now, as the property manager, would be getting long-term rental. But I'm curious about, you know, if there is a lot of factories going out there, a lot of construction workers might be. I don't know how. Not sure how we get in there that quick. Get build that relationship to rent it, but
Yeah, to try to get it like a midterm to the company, that'll take a little bit of time. But getting
yeah,
on Airbnb, if you can invest to
yeah.
get it furnished, you can do that.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge is the extra money to get it furnished. But could be rentals, maybe, rent the furniture.
Furnishing the easiest way is Amazon with Amazon business card. Get yourself 12 months, 18 months interest free. Or if you really want to go a little bit pricier, we can go like Rooms to Go, get 5 years interest free, or Ashley Furniture, Star Furniture. They all do like 5 years interest free if you have a decent credit.
Okay.
Yeah, doing a lease is okay, but the prices are a lot higher.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then most of the people there are staying. Like there's a guy that I know. He's from Canada, but he goes and stays in Odessa. I think 3 weeks out of the month. I think Oxy has an apartment for them, so a house might work for them. But like myself, we're contractors for Oxy, but we are consulting Oxy. We call him the owner, and then the contractor. So we're consulting the owner. So they send us, and they give us money to pick a hotel. We usually go to the Hilton, but I think if we had a house with a bunch of rooms, they could save some money that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're all staying out there as well. Is that what you're saying?
My group is if I go 2 to 3 days, but it's rare. I've
Hmm.
gone twice in the last 6 months. I was for a time going every other week for like 3 months,
Oh,
but I've convinced them to not make me go.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. They have some good food though. Some good restaurants out there for all the there's a lot of executives that fly out there just because they go plants and I think has a home base there. There's tons of rental car rentals. I think Turo probably does pretty well out there as well.
Okay. Gotcha. So does your company have a crew that goes out there every week?
We have two people right now that are going like 2 weeks at a time. They go for 2 weeks, go home 2 weeks, go back 2 weeks. So yeah, we have a crew right now and they're staying at the Hilton as well.
So that could work.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm telling you I'm pretty sure it would. I've looked at some properties out there. I
Yeah.
just have some for me to try to take the time to vet people. I have too many things on my plate to do
Yeah.
that, but I know that place is going to do well.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
that person in Baytown here in Houston. Baytown is a refinery city as well. So there's lots
Mhm.
of Exxon has the largest plant in the United States there. So they try to do sober living and said, nah, switch it to Airbnb. And said 2 months later, they got every room booked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What's next for your St. Louis? That one's going to be Section 8, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So once I get off here, I'm going to call back and see if we can schedule her to see the property, and then I'll get my lease agreement ready. And now the other challenge is with the renovation, we had to move the electrical mast away from the window and trying to get, and that was done a month ago. The inspector was supposed to send a report to the electric company so they can move the power lines. Well, he said he did, but I called them. They didn't. They don't have it. So I go, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll send it to him. I'll send him again. So he says he sent it. I'll call back a week later. We don't have it yet. And then I call him again. And just back and forth, back and forth. And then he didn't answer his phone for a week. And then I finally got a hold of him. I called him like at 8:30 last night. He's gonna be home.
All right.
And I did a double dial.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then he's, oh yeah, I sent it in. I sent it in. And then he's, let me look it up. Oh yeah. so so I called today and he sent it in this afternoon.
Dude, I hate when
Fine.
people don't. You have
Yeah.
one job to do. It's
Yeah.
simple. Just do your job, do your work. You get
You're
paid to do
costing
it.
me money. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awful. But now I'm trying to get a hold of Ameren, the utility company, see when they're going to be out there to move it. And then once they move it, then I have to get the city back out to inspect it. And then I can get it printed. So I'm hoping it's going to be ran bang, but it's going to be
How,
constant on the phone.
yeah. How big is that house?
It's only 964 square feet, a three
Okay.
bedroom, one bath. Yeah.
Okay. And you got that one sub two?
No, straight off market. Yeah, bought it at 62,000, put in about 30, learning the hard way, my first renovation. But then it through a refi with another owners club member, it refi or the appraisal came in at 147.
Oh,
Um,
badass.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do a cash out at 102. So get all our money back plus a little bit and still be cash flowing about 350, 400.
102 is that what, 70%?
Yeah, I think it's like 68. Yeah,
Okay.
but roughly 70%.
Do you decide to just go the lowest refi you could get, or why'd you
Well,
decide?
I wanted to get my money back and still cash flow.
Okay.
So we're getting really close to where that cash flow gets tighter and tighter. So I just wanted to get
I got
some
you.
residuals. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of ways to look at it. Some people will take it break even and just take the depreciation and get the cash up front and try to invest it. So just
Yeah.
curious how you're doing it. I don't know who it was. Somebody told me there's a person that has like $2 million worth of properties, and every 5 years he'll just cash out refi, even though he'll be breaking even on his rentals, this and that. He just happy to live off those 2 million he makes every year off of cash off refis. Doesn't really care about cash flow. He just every year does that.
Yeah.
And it's a loan, so it's you know tax free because it's not income.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good question. Maybe, I don't know if do you have done any cash out refis or do you have
I
any buy
do.
and holds or anything?
I have a buy and hold that's sober living right now. That one I knew it was going to be really tight because the mortgage rate, the PIT I was high, and then it being an HOA, it can only work as a sober living. But I bought it last year and I did the cost seg accelerated depreciation, so the tax free income this year, so it was awesome for
Very nice.
2023.
Very nice.
Yeah, actually, I just got my income tax return today. So I
Oh,
was looking at my checks like, oh, yay! Yeah.
oh, nice. Yeah, because
So
this Odessa property, we got to figure out how much we're going to cash out refi because we can't get all of our lending back. We can obviously pay off the hard money plus, but then it's like, do we save some for cash flow or like you say, break even or take more out and like maybe save some for reserves to pay off that or, I don't know what's a good strategy for,
just depends if you're doing enough Gator deals, that's going to make up
yeah.
that you're going to make more on your Gator deals than the interest you're going to pay on it.
Mhm.
Why not cash out and use it for Gator deals?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you and your son, you got two people doing it, working for Gator deals, and you've done quite a few. So I
Mhm.
imagine that money will be helpful for you. But
Yeah, absolutely.
to help myself out, no, don't cash out refi. Use my money for the Gator deals. You
I'd
know.
be happy to. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's that's just different things you got to look at. And then, yeah, each their own has their risk tolerance and what they feel. Some people are just good to see that number. Okay, I'm paying less. Like a lot of people that want to get sub two deals are like, oh, it has to be less than 5% interest. I'm like, why? If it cash flows, if you can do a good exit strategy, if you can change it to gold living or sober living, your interest rate doesn't really matter if your monthly payment is less than the amount you're going to cash flow on it and still have room for, capex and repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Too many, too many people are stuck on that interest rate number, which isn't as important as they think it is.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Nice. You looking for more sub two properties, or are you focusing more on Gator?
No, yeah, we're focusing more on the property side now, doing our own deals, which we're now. So my son's taking the lead on building our CRM and processes, and we're bringing on an integrator to help set everything up. And so now we're going out to get really focus in just on the Raleigh Durham area for now, and rather than try and do the wholesale, which cold calling random people is just sucks the life out of you. At least for me anyway. Yeah, so we're going more direct to agent. Yeah, talking to agents and getting those leads, ones they know, people who already want to sell, and maybe like Jamil says, it's in original condition or needs a lot of work, then have them bring the deals to us instead of us having to go out fishing all day long. So
Yeah, building relationships with direct agent. That's one way
yeah,
I do it as well. I picked up a
yeah.
couple of wholesales that way. I actually got my sub two sober living that way from an agent,
Oh, nice.
and the Morby method came to me from an agent as well.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
I always open the conversation with fix and flip first, and
Mhm.
then a lot of them will say, "Oh, I don't deal with those, this and that." So then I start switching over to creative and start telling them about those options there as
Yeah,
well. And a lot of them don't know about it, so you got to take the time to educate them on it.
right.
And once you do, then it's okay. Starts opening up possibilities.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's wild here in North Carolina. I was talking to someone, realtor here, who's also in Gator, but she says all their training tells them not to do sub twos or, it's illegal. Like they're actually being trained against sub two deals. It's crazy.
Well, I wonder if it's from their state training or from their broker training.
Like their brokerage training.
Okay.
Yeah. Highly encouraged and discouraged to do sub two deals. Amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with there are the bad apples. There is any industry that will do it and then leave the property alone and not follow through on what they say they're going to do and make sure that the seller is protected.
Yeah. But it is wild. Yeah. Once we started changing our course, we weren't getting much traction just doing direct to, pulling lists of, you know, different things and then getting not much action. But then soon we start going to agents and it's like, oh yeah, I actually have a really bad one I could use some help on. It's like, oh, this is a whole lot easier. Build a relationship instead of just one-offs with random people themselves. So build a pipeline that way. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny. Like this Morbi method we're doing, I talked to the agent already once about doing a sub two on a property, but the property was way too high of interest rate. It was almost $1 million deal, and it was just too much. I don't think it was gonna work out. But I was pitching it and planting the seed for her for future deals. She brought me another one, and then that one would have been a pretty good Morbi method as well. But the seller talked to their attorney that wasn't real estate informed or educated, I guess, and they said no. But then she brought me this other one. We're doing the Morbi method now, and the seller, they're investors as well. It's like, hey, we need to have our attorney talk to y'all to make sure that everything's good. So they brought us a real estate attorney. He goes, yeah, I do these all the time, so I understand, but just for me representing my client and giving them the best advice, and then the agent's on the call with us, and then like 3 days later, she goes, "Hey, I'm doing my training with this and that. Or what you doing is that legal?" I was like, "You were in the call with us with the attorney that said they've done it multiple times,
Yeah.
and they're still questioning if it's legal or not, just because it's crazy of doing
Yeah.
the Murray method, the two loans, getting money back."
Yeah. That's crazy. It's funny how that is the common response to someone's never heard it before. It's like, is that legal? Like I mentioned, it's my brother even. It's like, is that sounds shady. It's like, no, it's normal. It happens all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's common with businesses. Why can't you do it with residential?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. Have you started looking into buying businesses?
No, I want
Yeah,
to just listening to Cody Sanchez, but it's just I was about to, but I was like, no, I got to put a stop here because this shiny object syndrome is just
exactly,
so
exactly.
freaking. I mean, I
Yeah,
still haven't finished my Gator training, so I did join sub two. I've only done, I think, like the first week course of that. I haven't finished that. Owners Club, Keynote, now podcasting.
yeah.
After the Boston retreat, I have quite a few recordings for
Oh,
podcasts.
nice,
I put
nice.
one up. I think I have like five that I need to edit, and then I don't want to put too many out there. I'll probably do one a week. So I'm gonna have a nice little backlog because if you do
Nice.
too many at one time, then you think Derek said you cannibalize your own material.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. What's that software you said you can like schedule it to be released like every Wednesday and Sunday or something like that. So,
yeah. So with YouTube, the big podcasts you just
hmm,
upload it and tell it. But for like if you use Instagram and Facebook because they're both owned by Meta, you download the Meta Business Suite and then
hmm,
you post it there, and it'll ask you if you want to post it to both accounts, and then you can schedule it. So I'll do that like Sunday night. I'll schedule for the full week. So then I'll start getting a good amount of, just one a day of short. Usually I do snippets like what I did last week when I did my first podcast. I put snippets from that podcast and I put, hey, go to the link to watch the podcast. Go to YouTube to see the podcast. So I'm gonna do that for next week as well when I put the next video up.
yeah.
And then like TikTok as well, you can schedule it. So I'll do the same exact ones I'm putting for Instagram and Facebook. I'll just post them there, same date, same schedule, do all five at one time. So it saves it some time, instead of
Yeah.
trying to do it every day and remember every day, just put some time aside on a Sunday to knock it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to try to start doing is do it on like the Sunday. So I've been trying to get my real estate stuff done in the mornings and then a little bit of lunch and a little bit of evenings. And it's extremely inefficient. It's a start, stop. So I'm going to start doing like get up like 4:30 in the morning, work till about 8 on real estate, and then switch to my W-2, and then have some family time, and then go that route. See if that gets more efficient. But
Yeah,
yeah, then
it's
block off Sunday like a couple hours, hour and a half or so to do hit the social media, which I've been putting off.
yeah, but
But
it's helped out. I've had people ask me about my YouTube channel now, and
nice.
some people say, "Hey, man, I want to refi my house. What can you help me do with my money?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, very
So
nice.
yeah, it's helping. And then there was somebody on the call today with Pace McElroy. I forgot the
Yeah,
first name.
Ron McElroy. Yeah,
Yeah, so he says he never does ads. He does everything through his Facebook, and he gets all his funding that way.
yeah. He was one of the first real estate books I read.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice,
Mhm.
nice, cool. So let's see what you got your Gators going. You got any Gator deals active right now?
No, no, that we had the one connector that got paid out yesterday, but he's kind of he's got always got something going. And so there's a couple more opportunities every other week. He's got another one comes up. Last few didn't get to close for different reasons. Like one was a probate that was going to extend on like that. So again, we've been more focused on getting our internal processes done to get, going after pre-foreclosures and some of these direct agents. We actually got actually one of the realtors I called yesterday. She like at one of our meetups 2 months ago, she mentioned they got new software and she gets actual expired listings that actually just happen instead of expired listings that are randomly strewn without any particular date. It's like, hey, you know, let's work together. You give me those expired listings, and then we can go after them, and we, share the wealth. And then she was the one who was like, actually, I was on a flight yesterday. She's also a flight attendant, and this one couple in first class was having a great time. We kept talking, and they're realtors also, and so we started talking about stuff, and I started telling them about our community and how we take bad deals and make them, help realtors sell those bad deals. And she was like, actually, we have one. This poor lady, she got basically taken advantage of. Her husband had passed away. And so this solar company came and sold her the solar PV
Mm,
for her house and said, oh, yeah. And so now instead of having this small mortgage, now she had to get a home equity loan to buy that. And now she added $40,000 on top of the house and all this. It's like that. There's no way she's going to be able to pay that off by not paying her utility bills on because of all that. It's just how they took advantage of her. It's crazy. Now she's going pre foreclosure. She's 6 months behind. I think the actual foreclosure would be the end of December. And so, but yeah, it's amazing. It's like just having conversations and then boom, here's an opportunity. So we're going to look to see if we can go and see if we help her out, get what options she has to catch up, or if it's best to just, pay off her arrears and maybe, partner with her on the flip and get her out of that situation. So we're going to see what happens.
Cool, man. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, thanks.
So how are you reaching out to agents? Where are you getting the info from? Are you just looking on market deals and calling them up from there, or are you going straight just for agent numbers and reaching out to them?
So the ones I've been contacting are people I've met up at different meetups. We
Okay.
actually host a meetup once a month in the Raleigh Durham area. And so this is someone who comes to those meetups regularly. Jake, actually, we like Jamil handed out the list of agents. So we pulled the list of agents for North Carolina. So we sorted them down to the Wake County, Durham County areas. So he's now starting going through that list and going to have meetups with them and scheduling follow-ups. And so building those relationships with the local realtors. So
Nice. So you're doing
mhm.
meetups, or it's a sub two meetup?
Yeah, yeah. So we started out as a Gator
Okay.
meetup, North Carolina, because there was up here in Raleigh area, there really wasn't any face-to-face meetups with Gators. And so me and Lizette started, she went to a golden ticket earlier this year at Pace's place, I think in January, February. And she was like, there's really no Gator meetups in our area. And I think it might have been Pace or Zoe de Guzman said, well, just do it yourself. so and so we're like, yeah. So she asked me, "Is like, do you want to like partner up and we'll start scheduling these things?" And so we had our first one in March. Not bad for a first turnout. Maybe it was only like six or 10 people, but we just kind of keep building and building and building. We've done it every month since then, third Saturday of every month. And so this week we started adding guest speakers, and that's kind of build on to it as well. And so yeah, it's starting to grow, and people starting asking about it, and so it's been really really impressive how exciting that they're see what started out just a small group is now kind of ballooning into something people look forward to and reaching out. Hey, where are you having it this week? What time? So that's been really good.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that.
Thanks. Yeah, we're trying to get Pace. Pace said he would come down, but he said we got to get a little bit bigger. And it's like, well, you realize when we announce you're coming, it's going to get a lot bigger, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it won't be hard to find more people, but yeah. So he said, keep growing every month, and then he said he'll come out. So he's got a little bit of a full schedule, as you know.
Oh yeah. I like his website, Where's Pace? And then it
Yeah,
loads and he's sitting on top of a state cutout. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Cool, man. So you doing
Mm.
a meetup every once a month?
Yeah. Third Saturday of every month. Yeah.
And that's Liz, how do you say her last name? Pisquasi?
I believe it's Piquazi.
Piquazi? Okay, yeah.
Piquazi. Yeah.
I met her at the retreats back in
Mhm.
Scottsdale and Boston. Actually, we're
Mhm.
talking about a deal right now in California
Oh,
about an
nice.
ADU she's working on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
She's the
know.
one I'm partners with on that Odessa property that went bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, dude, the
Mhm.
Owners Club is amazing if you take advantage of
Yeah.
your connections that you have there.
Exactly. So,
Awesome. Yeah, you got to
yeah.
use
What's the deal in California you're working on?
I don't know too much about it, but I know something with the ADU that they had going on. And I happened to meet somebody that's in California that does blueprints for ADU. Palermo, California is where they're
Okay.
looking at it. So I don't know too much about it. I just know that I heard her talking about ADUs and that they needed somebody there. And I was like, oh, I know somebody that does ADUs specifically. That's all he talks about. He's a architect and does the blueprints and knows all the red
Oh,
tape you
nice.
got to go through. So
Mhm.
she asked me for their contact. So ever since Boston, I've been connecting people, so that's why I changed it to Edgar the Connector.
Nice.
Makes my
Well,
name a little bit easy to remember.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you need now for your new
yeah.
prospect?
So right now we're just we're working on building our lead flow since we changed course in May, going from Gator connecting to trying to get creative deals. And we went through trainings. We went through the whole PACE method as quick as we could, and then started trying to. We joined the team to do try to do wholesaling for a while, but now we're trying to focus on we we don't enjoy wholesale. It's just that cold calling all day, just hearing that deadline, and
Yeah.
it's just not something we want to do. So we decided, you know what, let's focus on our business and, you know, build our network. And so we've got a couple connections with some potential people who said they would partner with us on fix and flips, and we've got some lenders available. What we struggle with is when we do find a potential deal is truly identifying an exit strategy for it, which again, me being the engineer, I think there's an equation for every deal, but there's more than one exit on every deal, and that's what I struggle with. So yeah, trying to find a good exit strategy that would be profitable is, you know. So we have reached out to a lot of local sub two members to help to review deals with. That's probably our biggest thing right now. A good opportunity, and then finding the good exit strategy to actually executing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I use Astro Blaster for direct agent. Have you thought about using that at all?
No, is that the AI stuff?
It's a little bit like AI, but that's Jamil's before our prop AI popped out. This is more of SMS text messaging to agents, and then just starting the communication with them. Those text you, and you'll filter out a lot of agents to say, "Oh, I only work with referrals." Okay, cool. Others that say, "Hey, I don't work with fix and flips." Okay, so then call them up, say, "What about properties that you have sitting in the market, low equity properties?" Then you start shifting it to sub two.
Gotcha.
So if you want to use that, I have the affiliate link down below. I got that one set up. That's Jamil's software that he set up with. The kid was 17 when they built that.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember I sat in through his the pitch there. Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy that 17-year-old in high school during breaks and lunchtime making calls and wholesaling.
Yeah, that was an amazing story.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that work for you?
It's good. I actually I run it for a little bit, then I run it on pause for a bit because I'm just busy with so many of my other things. I actually have two owners club members that just took it over yesterday, and I'm watching the text go back and forth, this and that. So I'm coaching them through it as well, but they're using it to get more leads as well. So
cool. Now, how does it actually work? Is it, because I thought it was like AI? Is it basically just has a conversation with the agent until it gets to a point, and then it's kind of like gives you a signal, hey, it's time to bring in the closer?
It's about 80% automated with a lot of pre-registered replies. So you'll choose how many phone numbers you want to start for that day, put it on a drip campaign. You can set all of them if you want. In Houston, we have like about 7,000 phone numbers for different agents. And then you'll send it out. When somebody replies, you'll look at the reply and say, if it's just a standard reply, you just select, standard first reply, and it'll say the next step. And then you just go second reply, third reply. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh yeah, what's your email?" So you just hit reply email. So it'll send them the email with your information, and they get you your email. It'll automatically save it to their contacts. And there's more to it that I haven't gone to training. I've seen like AI automation. So there may be a way to just initiate it and it'll do most of the process for you as well. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's more to it that I haven't gone through the training or to the live recordings to see what it can do now. But it's worked for me the way I've been using it.
Nice. Now you've been getting like some wholesale deals out of it, or what are you doing with those leads?
Well, I got one wholesale deal. I've gotten a sub two. I'm getting the Morby method deal that I'm working with now. Just depends what you tell the agent, right? At first, it started off with looking for distressed properties, and then you'll have them say, "Oh, I don't deal with those. I deal with luxury." So then you shift the conversation. But you already have them reaching out and contacting you. So figure out what relationship you can
what do
build
they
with
need?
them. Yeah, and then how you can help them, how y'all can work together.
Cool. Very cool.
I know you mentioned you said you had an integrator. What else does your team consist of? It's you, your son.
Now, we're just now bringing it on. We're going through negotiations on her role, and and she'll be starting out on commissions. So yeah, she's in Gator now. Came from Silicon Valley. She was doing kind of working for multi-billion-dollar companies, and so basically taking those lessons learned and building our CRM for us, and then starting to bring in some leads. So we're gonna try it out. As as they say, if you don't have an assistant, you are one. So
yeah, I remember I heard that. I was like, damn, that's so true. It hurts, but you got to hear it sometimes,
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm doing all this work, but it's not actually producing. It's doing the bills, doing this, doing that. It's like
a long list of things. I was like, okay, which ones do I need to do? Which one's going to make me the most money? What about the operator that we have the option to go after for Owners Club? Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I think it's too early. We're one of those that's too early for us. We don't have the business flow and processes in place to bring that on at this point. Yeah. How about
I
you?
think, yeah, I'm in the same boat because I'm a
Yeah.
solopreneur, but I'm doing all of it by myself. I don't know if I
Yeah.
mentioned that I have Airbnb, Turo,
Oh,
e-com
you're doing
store.
Turo too.
Yeah, one car, but it
Cool.
still takes time. I have an e-com store that has been up and down, and then now sober living, which is now stabilizing, so it's freeing up some of my time. The Airbnb, I finally got it managed by somebody else, so that's freed up some of my time. But also like doing this Morby method, my W-2, I take care of talking about the spreadsheet I sent you earlier. I take care of my mom's finances, my mother-in-law's finances, plus our finances, all of our taxes. So it all adds up. And I'm thinking I'm going to interview an operator. I don't know if I'll be able to use them now,
Mhm.
but just to get an idea of what they have been trained in, what they will be able to help out with, just to know what it is. Because right now I know operator, but I really don't know exactly what they have been trained to do and where it might be beneficial to us.
Yeah, and that's one thing Jake actually had a good idea of to like if this integrator works out, see if we can get her into that operator program under Molly as a possibility. Not sure how that works, but yeah, she's really impressed us at this point. So we're very optimistic for the long term.
Fantastic. Is she going to be remote?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. She's still in the California area?
I don't know. Hey Jake, where's she located? She is in Cali? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be weird time zones because you was it four time
Oh,
zones or three?
three hours,
Three?
yeah.
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 Your rises will be. You said 4:30s when you get up.
That's yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Nice.
but he's running points, so I mean, he'll coordinate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Are you still a W two or this is all you're
Oh
focused
yeah.
on?
No, I'm still full-time W-2, so yeah, I'm
Okay.
still fully loaded on that. Yeah,
Got
long
you.
term is to build that portfolio and just kind of build that churn. Because obviously the 401k is not going to be the end all.
Right.
So yeah.
Then your Mount Everest. What is your Mount Everest? Have you fine tuned that?
Yeah, so my goal is to help over 600 people with affordable housing
Okay.
through federally funded programs like Section 8. That would equate to about 200 doors. And not only do Section 8 as typically you see in kind of like those really stressed out areas, but find those creative opportunities in like A and B neighborhoods. So not only are you helping them get affordable housing, but now you're putting them in a new community that actually will help their next generation grow up in a better environment and hopefully change their trajectory.
Awesome. You said 600 people?
Yeah. So yeah, roughly. So 200 doors. So that'd be like three minimum, three per property. So yeah. So probably be more than that. But
You start thinking about doing doors as well. I mean, that door's like a rooms. So each room you have 1 to 2 people that'll help speed it up because mine's similar, but I'm doing 400 people affordable housing. I'm at 11 with my sober living. This other one that we're doing should have another 8. So I'll be at 18
oh,
and then
nice.
hopefully little by little. But yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
you find deals in the Houston area, let me know. I'll help you
Yeah.
do what I can there. And later on, once I get my more funding available, then maybe I'll partner up with some deals with you. So, because
Yeah. It'd be great.
even though it's a partner split, we're still helping out people. So it's
Yeah.
the same
Absolutely.
goal we have. Might as well do it
Exactly.
together. Yep.
Yep. Squad up.
Yep. 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 I love it, man.
Yeah. You got your squad up tickets?
I haven't. I was gonna process them, but then they changed it, so I haven't. But I need to find out who I'm gonna give my 3 tickets to. Do you know who you're giving them to? You?
Yeah. I already gave mine out. So yeah. So that the realtor who's also the flight attendant, I gave her two. And then another person who was another connector. We worked on several things together. I gave him one of my third one. So
Fantastic, man. Cool.
yeah,
I'll see you in Dallas then.
yeah,
You want to
absolutely.
do anything before? I know they're trying to. Are you in the
Yeah,
owners club WhatsApp
yeah, yeah,
group text? Okay, yeah. Somebody's trying to set something up for January. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but we'll see.
yeah. That's gonna be tricky, but yeah, never know, never know.
Yeah, man.
So,
Okay. So how can people reach out to you?
so yeah, so my numbers. So you can email me at kevin@daytodayresources.com. Also on my Instagram at kevinday1284, or on Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is also Kevin Day 1284.
Sweet. And
Yeah,
then if you have some money you need to get some returns on, Mr. Kevin Day here will help you out with that. And then if you have
absolutely.
any properties in Raleigh area, send him his way. He'll do what he can to help out, find ways to solve your issues.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Our company name is Day-to-Day Resources. So we find the resources real estate investors need to close more deals. So whether it's funding for your fix and flip or in buyer for your wholesale deal or a contractor to do the flip for you, we've got connections in the area to help you out.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. Day-to-day
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah.
Oh man. Thank you
Yep.
for coming on and hope to be on your podcast soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on my first podcast, and I'm definitely going to get mine started.
Great, great. Hey, y'all be sure to watch this other video talking about other Gator opportunities. Catch this next podcast where you can start your dreams and start to own your time the way these other guests have.